Hey, beautiful. Thank you for joining. This is Kenlyn, and I want to give a little transmission today on the next women's movement. It should serve to inspire you to get yourself ready for what may happen. So we already know that there's a huge movement in Iran, a backlash, a revolution against the oppression of women that has made even the smallest thing, like a piece of hair showing a crime deserving of death. The women are saying no, the men are saying no, the children are saying no. Many people's lives are lost as a result of standing against oppression. I just want to take that in and take a collective moment whenever you're listening to this, wherever you are, to send love and courage and strength to the people who are willing to sacrifice their lives for something bigger, for something greater, for an ideal called freedom. I believe that in the next 4 years, like I'm giving this transmission in 2022, that there will be a women's movement in 2026. We know from some esoteric work like the gene keys that we're in this pivotal time until 2027 where evolution is calling us and asking us to transmute the shadow band, this collective density of shadow patterns of fear, greed, strife, hatred, polarization, and transmute that into a gift frequency. And if you know from some of my work, you can see the shadow integration work that I do, that inside every shadow contains the gift. And this comes from Richard Rudd of the Gene Keys. It comes from other bodies of esoteric work. But I like this framework. It supports me in being powerful. And that's why I use it. I was listening to an astrologer, Vanessa Corazon, and she was talking about looking ahead. We were looking at transits in her class, and looking ahead, she was saying that there's a women's movement potentially coming in 2026. And I said to myself, I am going to create that. Right? That's a moonshot. Because of course, I am not going to create it. We are going to create it, but I am going to put my intention, put my drishti, my third eye gaze on 2026 and a women's movement. And so asking myself, who do I need to be to cause and create that women's movement? And what is that women's movement about? It's about collective worldwide freedom. It's about leading the way in a new kind of leadership, in a new way of being that has feminine principles. It's win-win. It's all needs are met. It's that every life has meaning and therefore deserves our support. And I don't mean that with a political agenda at all. I mean that as an ideal. And it's for us as a mature society to live into what are the policies that get created through that statement. Because of course, ideals have to get to be like granular, right? We have to live into them. We have to make policy about them. We have to make containment, I should say, because I'm not sure about policy. Everything's up for grabs right now, but we get to contain that. We get to define that. What does that mean? That's in a conversation. That's in a community conversation of awakened people, awakened women are going to lead this charge because we carry these codes of everybody wins. We carry them as mothers, as nurturers, as compassionates, as, you know, in my yogic practice, we talk about like an arc line over our head, the halo, the saint arc line, but we also have it nipple to nipple in the feminine. That's the compassion, that's the heart space. So we have these two arc lines that are giving us a particular access to frequencies and codes that are nurturing, that are from the feminine principle. That's not to say that the masculine principle, believe me, I've done other videos. You can see masculine and feminine. They're both needed energies. This is not an anti-masculine video. This is a very much a call to action for the feminine to rise, the feminine inside the masculine even. I believe that many men are craving a new way of doing things. The old way, the patriarchal way, has its limits. Sure, you can own the whole world. You can exploit the shit out of everything. You can ruin all the rivers. You can blow up the mountaintops and mine them. You can extract. And then what do you have? You have your estate with your swimming pool. Who cares? It's vacuous. It's meaningless. And the human soul is not built for that level of meaninglessness. It's built for the sacred. It's built for connection to others. It's built for Mother Earth. That's how the soul is built. And it's going to take the women to rise, to say it's enough. No, we're not going in that direction. Remember that story that I've told it through one of my good friends, Sage Levine, tells the story of when she was with the Achuar people in Ecuador. And they said to her, how come your women haven't stopped the men? Because it's their job in their community, in their tribe. The women tell the men, it's enough. Stop fishing. Stop hunting. We have enough. It's the feminine principle that understands the intrinsic balance, the intrinsic wholeness of self and other, even the planet. It understands. We know in our bodies, in the feminine principle, we know. And so it's our time to stand up and say, no. That's enough. And we may have to take to the streets. We may have to take to the halls of government. We may have to get in the halls of government. We may have to increase our economic power and have a say. We may have to get savvy about things that we have left on the table. Like, how many of you know about cryptocurrency? How many of you know about the new forms of blockchain, decentralization? These are conversations, friends, that are not going away. They have their big flaws right now. And it's going to be up to us to infuse the creation and the stabilization of these new technologies with our frequency, with our values, with our philosophies, with our knowing of survival that counts on other people, the sustainability of life, other beings. We know that. I submit that we know that. And that's what the next women's movement is going to be about. So we get to shore up. We get to heal ourselves. We get to be with each other and confirm our knowings. We've been in patriarchy too long and we have forgotten. So we get to come together. And that's why I started the Evolving Sisters Network. Like, come together. Let's bathe ourselves in a narrative that will have us moving forward in a powerful way. That I want to leave you with. I'll be back. I'll see you next time.